All right, good evening, everybody, and happy Sunday night. We are live talking about the weather and the rain that's expected over the next several hours. All day today has been cloudy, it's been cold, it's been dreary, and with on and off light rain and drizzle for the most part, but things are going to ramp up overnight as we enter a different pattern for this upcoming week. So get ready for that and get ready for a wet Monday morning if you're back to work, back to school, back to your routine of things tomorrow morning. You'll probably have to leave early as rain moves in. It's not going to be all day. It'll be primarily tomorrow morning, with it backing off through the late morning and early afternoon for tomorrow. Again, timeline on that and what to expect and how much rainfall we're expecting in the next several days. That and more is coming up. Today's high was cold, way below normal. 40 degrees is the best we did in San Antonio. A few areas to the south of Highway 90, lower 40s, 41, 42, but it was a cold and cloudy and damp day, and our morning low officially was 36, so about 4 degrees swing in morning low to afternoon high. And then you add in the drizzle, the mist, the lower visibility. It was an ugly day and well way away from average again. This time in January in the year, we should be hitting about 64. That's typically, our afternoon high in San Antonio specifically, but instead we were 24 degrees colder than that. Our usual afternoon high at 40 was the high temperature today. Now, accumulated rain wasn't a lot. It was about 0.03 at the airport and basically very similar numbers across Bexar County. It wasn't soaking rain, but enough to accumulate in the rain gauge, and we'll add to that overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. And now our month-to-date rainfall is now 1.19, which is always good to see, to add to that total. Meantime, temperatures, they're cold outside, above freezing for most areas between Bernie, Devine, Hondo at 40, 40 at Lavernia, 38 in Timberwood Park, same thing in New Braunfels at 38 degrees, 37 at Randolph, and about 40 again at Lackland Air Force Base. Zooming out, you'll see from Gonzales to Del Rio, very similar in uniform numbers. We're looking at, upper 30s to lower 40s across the area, and very cold air. Not as cold as, last week. Thankfully, it's, trending warmer, especially this upcoming week. But this overnight and through tomorrow morning, it stays right around the 40s and 30s across our area, South Texas. Are there any more hard freezes in store for San Antonio? No. So the short answer is no. Good, thankfully, because we saw, several consecutive freezes last week, right? Highs were in the 30s and 40s for that Arctic blast, and lows were in the 20s and teens. Now we can say goodbye to that, thankfully, and hello to a new weather pattern, which, again, it's still going to remain cool and chilly in the mornings, but in the afternoons will trend definitely warmer with rain on the way. Now, speaking of, radar is showing somewhat of an active pattern. I'm going to zoom out and show you kind of what it looks like in the overview. More widespread light rain. Again, everything you're seeing on radar right now is very light activity, drizzle, mist. That's the extent of it. That will change by about midnight, 1, 2 a.m. Through tomorrow morning. Some of this will lift and become more moderate to heavy at times in some isolated pockets. As a matter of fact, if you zoom south and look towards, let's say, Rio Grande City, south of Zapata County, towards McAllen in the valley, that's where some of these downpours are getting more active. They're strengthening. They're lifting more into the atmosphere. And some of this is producing, thunder and lightning. That's well to the south, and that's going to move towards, Edinburgh, towards Corpus Christi over the next several hours. But the main takeaway is that there's a lot of moisture in our air, and this is all moving in from the southwest, from Mexico, and will continue to move north and northeast overnight through tomorrow morning. That's going to mean increased rain. Slick roads, it's all going to be above freezing, so none of this is going to freeze. That is the big takeaway. This is not looking severe, but between now and tomorrow morning, there will be a few areas in San Antonio, around I-35, especially between here, Corpus Christi, and primarily towards Houston, that some of these rain totals could accumulate very fast. Over about, 6 to 8 hours. Some areas towards Houston and southeast Texas, Galveston, between there and Matagorda Bay. Some rain totals will be up to about 2 to 3 inches in a very short amount of time. And then you add in more rain coverage, tomorrow night through early Tuesday through Wednesday. This could really accumulate quickly, and that could create problems and issues on the roads and for travel across the area. So again, it's a very active pattern. You can see up farther north into Dallas. That's where the rain is more of the freezing variety, right? The wintry mix, the sleet, and the freezing rain parts of North Texas and also parts of Oklahoma, where it's very widespread at this hour. That's where the temperatures are either at or below freezing. San Antonio will remain above 32 degrees overnight, so we're not looking at any threat of freezing rain or any kind of wintry weather. It will stay cold, and you'll see by tomorrow morning, starting off at 5 a.m., it's cold, temperatures in the 40s, probably mid to upper 40s around the San Antonio metro, so we'll warm up a little bit in the overnight, thanks to winds and moisture coming in from the south. And I think we'll carry a rain chance through 9 a.m. and probably through mid-morning. And then probably by the afternoon hours, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, will dry out. It'll be mostly cloudy with some sunshine. And then highs rebounding slowly. We'll stay chilly, though, in the middle to upper 50s all day long for your Monday, with the best chance at rain in the morning hours. We'll time it out for you. This is a model, but it is overdoing it a little just because of the rain. It's initializing with this right here. And considering we just looked at radar and it doesn't look like anything like that, we can look at the other models and see how they're performing. This is a high resolution, the graph model. Let's see what the other high res models are looking at. This is the extended HRRR. Let's see how it's initializing a little bit better, right? So it's showing more of a light rain at this hour, which is indicative of what's out there at the moment. So it's initializing well. This is the HRRR model. We'll look at one more. This is the NAM, more of a medium-sized, medium-range, high-resolution model. Overdoing it a little bit, kind of like how the IBM and the graph are doing it. So I think I'm going to opt in with the HRRR just because it's handling the atmosphere and it's initializing the best right now. So give me a second as I fix that real quick, and bada bing. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's save that, and we'll show you what the HRRR is showing at this hour. Again, initializing better. You can see radar. Right now, we'll rewind it back and show you how active it is right now. Just kind of sporadic, light areas of drizzle and mist. And that's pretty much it as of 9:13 p.m. And then we'll show you this forecast model. This is the HRRR. Does a good job at handling what's happening out there right now. You'll see by midnight it increases in coverage, while most of us will continue to see light rain and a few moderate areas of showers. Most of us on the lighter side. Through about 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., that's where it will get a little bit more active. It'll increase in coverage and intensity, where there will be a couple of areas of thunder, lightning around 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Maybe a couple of isolated, localized heavy downpours, heavy rainfall rates between 2, 3, 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it's the overnight. So if you wake up and you hear thunder, that's why. It's going to be a round of rain moving through in the overnight. This is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. Temperatures middle 40s, maybe some lower 40s and upper 30s across the hill country. And then you'll see as we fast forward to about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, rain lingers around. And it doesn't really exit the area until probably mid-morning. And when we say mid, probably about 8, 9, 10 a.m. at the earliest. And remember, this is moving east. So big takeaway if you're traveling east down I-10 tomorrow, towards Seguin, towards Gonzales, towards Columbus, and most importantly towards Houston and Southeast Texas. That's where it's all moving towards, right? It's going to be a big, large chunk of rainfall that's moving east. So a lot of the rain and storms will continue for the Houston metro and area near Galveston for about, through 10, 9, 11 a.m., probably through the early afternoon. It really doesn't move out to the Houston area. But for us in the San Antonio area, from the Hill Country to Floresville to Pleasanton to Seguin, it's pretty much out and done by about 8 and 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. But the roads will still be wet. There'll probably be a lingering sprinkle or a lingering shower through about 9 and 10 a.m. But a lot of the moisture is out and we're done with it by mid-morning, 10 a.m. at the latest, and then it's all moving towards Houston during the day tomorrow. It will be a little breezy, winds from the west and southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour and some occasional gusts near 20. But that'll be our first of several rain chances between now and about Wednesday. This system will hang around for a little bit. Probably will be finished by Thursday and Friday. That's when our skies will begin to clear. And while the majority of tomorrow afternoon is dry, there may be a leftover sprinkle or leftover shower. We'll see another round of rain move in late tomorrow night, mainly light activity at first, and then moderate to heavy rain through the morning hours, and same thing into the early afternoon with a couple of pockets of isolated storms around. So again, an active pattern that's creating several days of rain chances. Right now, it's between the evening hours and the morning hours. That's the bulk of rainfall. That 30% is for the afternoon, spotty leftover rain. Tuesday, Monday night and early Tuesday morning, 70% coverage on that rain. 40% coverage, scattered activity on Wednesday, backing off for Thursday. We're pretty much drying out after that. We may see a lingering isolated downpour Friday, but we'll have to fine tune that and see what this next system does, because some models are saying it stays a little bit longer, and then that last forecast model you just saw says it's moving out faster. So you can see on this one right here, Thursday, Friday, this low kind of stays over North Texas, but eventually moves east by Friday and Saturday, and then by the back half of the weekend. But again, depending on the timing of this low and how long it stays and how much lift it has and moisture content and fuel it has in the atmosphere will tell us more about rain Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Right now, the forecast calls for not much activity out west. So if you're watching from Del Rio, Rock Springs, Kerrville, Fredericksburg, optimistically between a tenth to a quarter between now and Wednesday. But the swaths of rain will be very narrow, and depending on where these storms set up and move across the area from Hondo to Pleasanton to Houston will tell us more about localized heavy rainfall rates that could exceed, in a short amount of time between now and Wednesday, 3 to 4 to 5 inches. On the higher side, which I don't think will be likely, but some of the models are suggesting this, LaGrange and some of those areas towards Bryan and College Station, the I-45 area towards Conroe, north of Houston, towards the Woodlands. There may be areas north of Houston that see upwards of 7 to 8 inches in some isolated regions between now and Thursday morning. We'll see how that unfolds, but right now, rule of thumb, this next system, less rain out west, more rain out east of I-35 and around the San Antonio area, probably between about 1 inch to 3 inches when it's all said and done Wednesday into Thursday. Again, depending on how fast the system moves out, will tell us more. Now, we talked about the rule of thumb, highest rainfall rates east of I-35. So towards Houston and Louisiana will be the highest threats of flooding. Flash flooding anywhere from, let's say, LaGrange towards Galveston and Houston. This is where they're expecting a slight risk for excessive rainfall. In other words, just localized flooding on I-10 and towards Louisiana. So San Antonio kind of on the outer edge and outer threat of that. We're in a marginal risk. That's a level 4 out of 5. I'm sorry, level 1 out of 4. And then more of the slight level 2 risk towards Houston, I-45 between College Station, Houston, Alexandria, Jackson, Mississippi, and towards parts of Arkansas as well. So we'll continue to watch this. Again, our first round of rain moves in tonight, of which could be some thunder and lightning during the day tomorrow, more of a 30% chance at some lingering showers, primarily in the morning and drying out towards the afternoon. Rain ramps back up late tomorrow night into early Tuesday, where rain coverage will be up to about 70% for the second day of the work week. And then notice temperatures, they trend really warm. 71 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even up to the middle 70s by the end of the week, with some cooler air filtering in by the weekend, highs back near average in the 60s and mornings back in the lower 40s by this time next weekend, next Sunday, next Monday as well. All right, good evening, everybody. Veronica, Nick. Yeah, so on Tuesday, probably a pretty good chance at rain. It's going to be sporadic and kind of on and off rain. It's not going to be all day rain, especially, tomorrow and Tuesday. So if you have plans, they'll probably get rained out to an extent. But again, as you saw in that rainfall forecast, anywhere east of San Antonio, the higher rainfall rates, anywhere west, not so much. So if you're watching again from Carrizo Springs, anywhere along I-35 towards Del Rio, Eagle Pass, not much activity out there between now and Wednesday. More activity between here and Houston along the I-10 corridor, with temperatures trending warmer and drying out by Thursday and Friday, with temperatures in the lower 70s by the back half of this week. So something to watch, and just get ready for an active pattern. Keep the umbrella in the car, of course. You're going to need it at least for the next couple days as rain chances really start to back off by Thursday and Friday. So we'll leave it on the 7-day forecast a little longer, guys. We'll be live tonight at 10 o'clock on Ken's 5. for the latest on the weather. We'll continue to provide updates on things like that. But again, between now and Wednesday, our best rain chance and the bulk of downpours will be happening in San Antonio, drying out for the rest of the week after midweek, and temperatures way above average for Thursday and Friday. Lower 70s waiting for us by the Friday time frame. Small chance at rain Friday. We'll see if the models are saying anything for Friday's rain chance by tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll update you on that, and we'll fine-tune the details as we get more forecast data in. Otherwise, cooler by the weekend with highs back in the 60s Saturday and Sunday. All right, guys, drive safe tomorrow. Leave early. Again, it's going to be wet with the rain lingering through about 8 and 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I would say after 10 a.m. tomorrow, things start to dry out. We'll see a little bit of sun peek through, but it'll be mostly cloudy for tomorrow. And the same thing for Tuesday and Wednesday with the sun really returning in full force by Thursday, Friday, and next weekend.